You are listening to the Classic Chris Show. Hey now, what's happening, guys? Classic Chris is back with another episode of the Classic Chris Show. That's right, I've been off the shelf for quite a while. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. Thank you guys for being patient. I'm gonna get started off with one of the issues that's been happening. A few weeks ago, as everyone knows, that I lost my voice. So I'm going to explain to everyone that this is what happened. I went to a concert. When you go to a concert, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm one of those guys where it's like I'm right into it. Drinking, going on with the songs, having a blast. So like, here's me like just cheering, like yes, like during certain things, just being excited, having fun, and so that put a lot of strain on my voice. And then not too long after that, like the next day, basically, I go to a wrestling show, and at the wrestling show, what do fans do at wrestling shows? We cheer. That's what we do. We do stuff, and we cheer, we yell, and all of a sudden, after the wrestling show, I can't friggin' talk. Like literally, I cannot raise my voice to like even a proper volume. I was basically like, I was talking like this. My throat hurt like crap. Like it was really brutal. I do not wish this upon anybody. Like the type of strain that my voice had, I couldn't talk for basically 3 weeks. It was crazy. I went to the doctor and everything, thinking that maybe like something was wrong, and he's like, no man, you just really gotta let your voice come back. That's basically what you gotta do. And it kind of bugged me because it took so long for it to come back. Like normally if I lose my voice, it's back a day or two, something like that. But right now that did not help, because it was gone for so long, and it literally bugged the heck out of me because I couldn't talk. I couldn't do any of the videos with Bruce, with Blitz on the website. I couldn't even do my own stuff. Like that's why there's been no Monday Night Raw reviews. There's been no there's just been lack of content, and I apologize for that, guys. My voice, it literally sucked. I couldn't talk. It hurt. It basically took 3 weeks, which is kind of crazy. And I apologize for that. Like even like right now, my voice is still it's still it gets dry easy. So that's why I have my water with me. So if you hear a pause or something like that, or me clearing my throat, I apologize to everyone right now because that is very unprofessional. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get it back, but it's just been so long since I've done one of these shows that, you know what, I have to do it. I have to, because it's not fair to you guys. And I feel bad because I love doing the podcast. I know some of you enjoy listening to it. Other people, they may not. I don't care because I'm doing this for the people that like it. So, so with that being said, I apologize for that long delay and everything. And here we go. We're going in with the Classic Chris Show, episode 11. That's right. It's episode 11. Last time we left off, oh, cripes, that was months ago. So I apologize. I apologize because, I was kind of getting burnt out on certain things. And it was like, it kind of felt like I was talking about the same things every episode. So I want to change things up, let some time pass, get some things going. Like right now, we're in the month of October. It's October 23rd. Next Saturday is going to be Halloween. I cannot wait. I love Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year because not only do you get horror movies late night, because I love horror movies, but you get to dress up and stuff like that. And speaking of dressing up, I got my costume this year. I hope everyone else does. I'm going to be the Riddler. Jim Carrey, his portrayal of the Riddler was pretty damn good. Basically, I got the outfit that the quiz thing, or the question mark guy that he was talking to, that machine in Batman Forever, that basically gave him the green light to go as the Riddler. I basically have that outfit, the derby hat, the mask, the blazer. It's gonna be good. I cannot wait. And when I have it on, I'll tweet out some pictures, fudge it. And if someone's noticed, I just said fudge there because I'm trying to cut down on my swearing. I swear a lot, especially at work, and a lot of people at work don't like it that I swear so much because I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Are you that effing stupid? It's just stuff like that. I never ever say to anyone, hey, go F yourself, because that's just not how I talk. But and it just because I was on construction for like 10 years, and basically when you're in construction, you swear a lot. Like, are you effing kidding me? This guy did a horrible job. Like, there's just so much stuff. So that's what took me so long to get back. So, I gotta control the swearing, because you know what? I can't be swearing all the time, especially if, like, I know no one really cares, but I hate to say it, but I gotta kind of be PC. I can't be offending everyone, because honestly, I don't care if I offend somebody, because, everyone gets offended over everything. Like, honestly, just ask the man Howard Stern how easily people get offended when he was on regular radio. He was getting fines up the wazoo. Yes, that's right. I even churched up that. So, that's the thing. Like, I want to take this a little bit more professional. So, I apologize. So, but at least this time, my mic is working, because last time I tried recording the show, a couple hours ago, it just was not working. My microphone was not working, and I apologize for that. So now we're going to get into the show, okay? So let's talk about the WWE. One of the reasons why, that not just because my voice went, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I was getting burnt out on WWE. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you this, that I was burnt out. I was sick and tired of seeing the exact same stuff week in, week out. Week in, week out. I was just sick and tired of it. It's like, how many times can I see the same guys fight each other in the same format, like, promo match, just like, it's like, come on, guys, you got to change stuff up. Like, I was getting very, very bored. That's basically it. Like, I was burnt out. Like, even on one of the overtime shows with Blitz, the when we're talking news and rumors, I couldn't really talk positive about the WWE. I was very bitter in it, and I shouldn't be, because to me, the WWE has brought me so much pleasure and joy in my life, but I was just burnt out, and it bugged the shit out of me, because I'm sorry, but to start off every show with a friggin' promo, you have the exact same people fighting. When you have the exact same people fighting each other, you know what that does? It takes away from your pay-per-views. And that's what really bugged me, because to me, a pay-per-view meant something. That's why I really love what TNA is doing right now. TNA with that world title series. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. It is so cool. I love the format, how they're doing it like the World Cup of soccer. Like, you have different groups and everything. Like, you get points for wins and everything. Oh, it's so good. It's just like a better version of the Bound for Glory series. Like, where you, instead of everyone's in one bracket, you got different brackets. Like, you got the wild cards. Like, yeah, I've been very entertained with TNA. They changed things up. It's just a disappointment with the TV talks. I haven't heard anything about it, but you know what? Some people are saying TNA's dead. They're already putting nails in the coffin. Me, I am not, because you can't compare them to WWE. No one is going to be as huge as the WWE. And the reason why, look at them. As much as people rip on them, the WWE still produces the most attendance in North America. They also produce the most, the highest viewership, even though their viewership has dropped, and same with the attendance. But it still brings in the most for wrestling. If they actually compete with just wrestling companies, instead of trying to say, hey, we got more followers than this sports team or whatever, instead of saying, hey, did you know last week we did 3 to 4 times the attendance, or we had that much more in things, because the WWE, they are the mecca of wrestling. And as much as that pisses people off, it's true. If you want to make it in the business, like TNA, I love TNA. It's so entertaining, but the money is in the WWE. And they're smart. Like, they are very smart. They know how to do things. Like, sure, before, like, me and a couple of the other guys, when we're talking about, let's say, for example, John Cena, we may not be big Cena fans, but here's the thing. That guy may only have a certain amount of moves, whatever. But that guy knows how to market himself. He is actually very good for business, and I hate saying that, because, like, I don't like his in-ring work, but that's not all it. He sells tickets. For you as a wrestler, trying to provide food for your family, if those people ain't showing up to boo or cheer John Cena, are they going to come to see a Joe Schmo, for lack of better words? But, like, are they going to do that? So I've come to accept John Cena now. Like I'm not a fan of his. You'll never ever hear me cheer for him. But the thing is, I understand now. Like working in Crossfire, talking to some of the boys and some of the people, like they're educating me right now because to the business, I'm still new. Like I am very, very new. Like I'm still learning ins and outs and stuff like that. Coming up on the next show, I got to change some of how I do my commentary. It's still going to be kick ass. Actually, I think it's going to be even better. But I gotta, come into my own groove basically, and I gotta stop thinking like a fan and think like a businessman sometimes. And I'm sorry, but Cena is money right now. No matter what, people pay to cheer him, they pay to boo him. He's getting the reaction that people want, and for him to be the top guy for 10 years, that is something. Like I'm a huge Hulk Hogan fan. Like back in the day, I grew up red and yellow. I was a Hulkamaniac. Then when I matured, my wrestling taste changed. Like, cause I had started liking guys like Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I started liking guys like I was always a Randy Savage fan. Friggin' love the Macho Man. To me, if every wrestler could be molded like Randy Savage, holy shite, we'd have such awesome shows. But we're not going to get that. But for John Cena to be on top of everything for 10 years, that is something. I tip my cap to John Cena and I give him credit for that. That is cool. And it's good for him because you know what? He makes that company money. That company makes him money. It's a two-party system. I can't complain about it. He's not the main event. Seth Rollins is, but Seth Rollins isn't really being marketed like the champion that I feel that he is. I think that Seth Rollins could be such a better champion than what he's getting booked and portrayed as. Because remember back when he was in the Shield, how many times has Seth Rollins stole that match? Him or Dean Ambrose or the two of them combined. Like those two, it's like lightning in a bottle, if that's the expression I'm looking for. But they literally stole the show. Oh, apologize if anyone hears that. It's a phone in the background. I'm just going to ignore it. Stupid house phone. Very unprofessional. But that's what happens when you're doing a show out of your house. Well, I mean, in the Classic Chris Studios. Sorry. The studio just happens to be in my house. So, with that being said, I just feel that Seth Rollins, like, for the great in-ring work that he does, he should be booked better. Like, remember the days when a heel, or the bad guy, if you will, for lack of better words, would be in a title match or whatever, wins the title, they won. Remember how many times Ted DiBiase won matches clean? But yes, also he had Virgil interfere in a couple of other matches. But that's what I really love about the old format with WWE, because I'm going to get into that. Because to me, the old format was you watch wrestling on Saturdays. We had like 3 different shows in Canada that aired. We get a noontime show, a 7 o'clock show, and then there'd also be another one. I forget exactly the right time, but they'd be showcasing all their wrestlers. They'd be showcasing everybody and who these wrestlers were fighting squash. They're fighting squash matches. Squash match means that you have your star go out and he beats up a jobber. A jobber is a guy that is a no name. Basically, he's a no name wrestler. The Barry Horowitz, but Barry Horowitz had a name for himself. But that's just the example I'm going to go with. When Ted DiBiase would go out, he'd make a guy pass out to the $1 Million Dream, stuff the money down their throat. Then later on, you get Ultimate Warrior come out, beat a guy in 10 seconds. But you get all these guys, and they looked larger than life. They looked huge. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, can anyone beat this guy because of all the stuff that they did to all these to the jobbers? And honestly, there's nothing wrong with being a jobber. I will tell you why. Not only A, you're getting TV time. B, you're getting a paycheck. And C, you're built you're building the product up. Like you're building up like these guys. Like you're basically, if it wasn't for these guys like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, $1 Million Man wouldn't look as good as they do because they saved those big matches for the pay-per-views. Like the only time Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior would lock up would be a pay-per-view. The only time Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan would lock up would be a pay-per-view. $1 Million Man, the only time he'd fight Savage or Hogan or anybody was pay-per-view or Saturday Night Live main event. And that's what's a good thing about Saturday Night Live main event. I miss that so much. Saturday night main event. It was so good. I remember being a kid and my mom would literally stay up and watch it with me. My mom was killer. She knew how much I loved wrestling. When we moved from Toronto to where I live now, she was buying tickets to take me to Buffalo to go see the shows at the auditorium at the Odd. And one of the best memories I have is her taking me to go see Hulk Hogan take on the Big Boss Man in a steel cage. That was awesome. To me, that was probably one of the best memories I had growing up. That besides going to the WrestleManias and stuff like that, but just being a kid, that to me, it was everything. Like, I love WWE. I loved wrestling. I still do. And for those people that say that wrestling's fake, well, guess what? Wrestling may be scripted, but when a guy takes a bump, they feel it. When a guy gets suplexed on a ladder, they feel it. When someone goes through a table, they feel it. Like my buddy Jay Moore went through a table at Crossfire's last show. He separated his shoulder. Like, so people can't tell me that it's fake, because you know what? I like movies, and guess what? That's a script too, friends. I'm just saying, because like, you know what? I'm dropping a lot of the swearing. I'm going to try to a lot. So if something happens and I end up swearing, I apologize, but I'm trying not to, try to be a little bit more respectful, be a little bit more professional in the show. But I'm very happy that this time a microphone's on, and I can actually talk with it being here. So being heard. I gotta watch how I talk too, because sometimes I don't even know how to speak English apparently. But that's basically it. Like for what is going on nowadays, though, this is where it changes, and this is where I kind of started losing patience with WWE. It's like we are seeing the same guys fight each other week in, week out, and not only on Monday Night Raws, but we're also seeing them fight each other at the pay-per-views. It kind of takes away from everything, in my opinion, because back in the day when guys like Rick Rude and Warrior would lock up at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, that meant something. But now we see, how many times can you see Dolph Ziggler fight Rusev without getting bored? Sorry about that, everyone. Like I mentioned earlier, I hate that I have to clear my throat, but coming off that voice thing, I'm still not fully 100%. I'm just happy I can actually raise my voice and talk normal. But so my throat does get dry a little bit easier. I have my water with me. That's right. I'm drinking water. No alcoholic beverages. I'm doing this sober. So just bear with me, guys. And it really bugs me because it takes away from a lot of it. Like imagine if like this Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt feud. It's actually not that bad of a feud, but imagine how much more hype it would have if they didn't fight each other on Monday Night Raw. The only time these guys should fight each other on Monday Night Raw should be either a tag match, or another way they should be like kind of facing off or being involved in the other person's match is, let's say Bray Wyatt is fighting, for an example, let's just say Zack Ryder. Bray Wyatt, he's beating the crap out of him. Roman Reigns comes up, distracts him. Zack Ryder gets a roll up. He gets the win. Now Bray Wyatt is pissed that Roman Reigns cost him a match. That puts more fuel to the fire. It could mean so much more. Like I kind of miss like the old school booking in that, but that's the one thing. Like there's so many things that the WWE can do, and it's just sad that sometimes it can't be done, because to me, like the thing that's been born with me with Monday Night Raw has just been the same thing every week. Guys still fighting each other. I actually stopped watching Monday Night Raw. I have not watched Raw in probably 3 to 4 weeks. So basically, it kind of grew stale to me, and that's why I show like TNA. It's been very entertaining because they've been doing a lot of things like that. The whole World Title Series is huge. I love that. I just love that. And for how everything is, it's like we got Hell in a Cell coming up. They built up that Seth Rollins match quite good, actually, because Demon Kane, that's what they're calling him, Demon Kane and Seth Rollins never really locked up. Like, sure, Seth Rollins fought Corporate Kane, like, because they're doing the whole Joseph Park Abyss angle, which there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed the TNA version of it better, but because Joseph Park was just hilarious. But just with how everything's going, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because Seth Rollins and Kane never really got into a match. And that's what builds up this world title match, because these two guys never really locked up. Like, I know Demon Kane is a little bit different than Corporate Kane because he uses different moves. He's a little bit more intense, actually, which is kind of cool. Like, I like how Glenn Jacobs is actually doing that with his character. Corporate Kane is a little bit more laid back. He's not as a brute force as Demon Kane is. So I find it quite cool. And I'm going to be talking about the pay-per-view now, because this weekend coming up, we got Hell in a Cell. That's right. And to kick things off, we're going to have a 6-man tag match. And there's nothing wrong with that. The reason why I'm going to bring this up, because in indie wrestling, sometimes we'll put on a 6-man tag match to start off the show because A, you got to let the roster work. You have to. But B, your opening match basically sets the toll for the entire show. Like, that's supposed to get the crowd happy. It's supposed to get everyone hyped. And when you got some of these guys in this match, it's going to be great. So we got Dolph Ziggler. He's in it. You know he's going to do something. Like, he bumps for everybody, which I respect that about Dolph Ziggler. His sellability is quite good. And then you got Neville in that match. So you know you're going to see some spots. And that's what the fans want to see. They want to get excited. They want to get energetic for the rest of the show that's coming up. And speaking of the rest of the show coming up, now I'm going to get to the main card. Like, I'm not going to be giving many predictions or anything because I'm just basically going to say how I think it's going to be. And so we're going to go into the John Cena Open Challenge. John Cena will be defending the U.S. title in another Open Challenge, which I kind of like because he kind of is bringing back the fighting champion. He is bringing back like how Bret Hart was the world heavyweight champion, and Bret Hart said, I don't care who you are. You want a shot at my belt, I'll take you on because he's the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. And I like that. And John Cena is kind of doing that. He brought prestige back to the title. I'm giving him credit. Like, I'm not a big Cena fan, but I have to respect what he's doing. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off with me when I say that, but in no means am I a John Cena fan. I'll never, ever buy a John Cena merch. I'll never buy anything, but I'm just saying that that's one of the things that he's doing with this title because people are paying to see this guy, like it or not, they are. And I have to respect that because for a person in the business, I got to respect what John's doing. And for his opponent, we don't know who it is yet, but I really hope it's a guy like Samoa Joe or something like that, because I think Samoa Joe and John could put on actually a decent match. I think John Cena might lose the title because, as we all know, he's going to be taking some time off, which is acceptable because John Cena doesn't take much time off. He's there week in, week out, and he shows up. Like how everyone says he's the first one to show up, last one to leave. And I made a joke before by saying, well, of course he's the first one to show up and last one to leave because he's the one that needs the most work. But it just shows his love and passion for the business, which a lot of people don't have. But so yeah, he's going to be taking some time off. So we might see a new U.S. champion. We might not. You never know. But if there is a new U.S. champion, I would like to see it go to a guy like Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, even if Kevin Owens came out and somehow he's the United States and Intercontinental Champion at the same time, that would be kind of cool. Like, I'm kind of down with that. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. All odds are John Cena's going to win because it's a pay-per-view. But hey, if he doesn't, awesome. If he does, oh well. I'm sick and tired of ranting about that. He wins a lot of matches. That's the thing. But he has to, because if he loses the credibility to his younger fans, people will stop coming to the shows as much. And the thing, too, about the John Cena demographic, I know we all rip on it. We have on Blitz's website. We ripped on it on his YouTube channel. Even on even James, when he has his YouTube channel up and doing the live reviews, and people rip on Cena. We have to because we're men and we're honest. But in the marketing aspect of it, he is actually a very smart businessman, John Cena. And the thing is, he's marketing to kids. I know it sounds bad that I'm saying that, but he's marketing to kids. Because you know what happens? If you're just, let's say, like Steve Austin and stuff like that, you're going to get a group of me and my friends going. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be fun. Just like Austin, The Rock, Mankind, anybody like that headlining. It's going to be rowdy and fun. But with John Cena, you got the young kid who's going to go. Not only is he going to go, but his little friends are going to go too. And you know who else is going to go? The parents. And the parents are going to buy those tickets. And when the parents are there, they're going to buy the kids' merch. So instead of just selling the one ticket to, let's say, a guy like me, they're selling now 5 tickets to the family that's going to go to the show, which is very smart by the WWE, and I applaud that for John Cena, for how he's been doing things. I don't like him as a worker, as a wrestler in the ring, but I cannot argue with the success he's had in marketing and in selling merch and selling tickets. That's the one thing. He's putting food on everyone else's table when it's a sellout show. So that's the U.S. title, and that's probably the last I'm going to mention John Cena during this, because I'm kind of disgusted with myself for how much I put this guy over on this video. And again, I apologize to everyone because everyone knows how I feel about him, but I have to give credit where it's due. And for what this guy has been doing, he may not be the most entertaining guy in the ring, but at least people are there to either A, boo him, or B, cheer him. So I'll give him some respect and some credit for that, because some of the guys from Crossfire that have been in the business, like the bigger guys, explained it to me and it made sense to me. And that's the one thing. Like these guys basically, like, because I'm still new, they're teaching me stuff, and that's the one thing. I'm still a student of the game. If you're not learning, then there's something up with that. But so we're gonna go on to the next match, Intercontinental title match. We got Kevin Owens taking on Ryback. I think this match has some potential because if they book this match like a Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz, we're going to see some brawling, we're going to see some suplexing, we're going to see some physicality, some intensity that I believe that it really needs. I really feel that like this match could be good if they go into it a brawling style like I said, Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. I think it'd be very good. You don't have to go hardcore like ECW, but when people see like a huge capture suplex and like, just throwing him over his head, or a belly to belly that's just really good, or even a couple of Germans, even though I think Brock Lesnar like took control of that move, but I'm not complaining because I like suplexes. When you see like just the power in the people, it's pretty awesome in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a decent match if they follow that format. Sure, it could be a dull match. It can be, but I'm going into the optimistic. I am actually going into this pay-per-view thinking like, hey, it might not be bad. Now we got the New Day taking on the Dudley Boys in for the tag team titles. New Day are the tag team champions. I kind of like New Day, except I haven't been watching Raw too much. And then someone brought up on Blitz's overtime reviews, or that I was on this past week, that they're unicorns now. I don't understand that. I honestly don't get it. I don't understand what's the premise behind that. So if anyone knows what's up with the whole unicorn thing, please leave a comment, because I would love to know, because I don't get it. I don't understand. And since I don't have any information on that, really, I apologize. So I can't really talk about that. But then before all that, really was entertaining. Like a Night of Champions, Xavier Woods comes out, friggin' hair like Rufio from Hook. If you haven't seen Hook, watch it, or Google it, or Google search Rufio, and a picture will come up, and you'll laugh, because that's how his hair was in Night of Champions. I'm curious to see if he does anything special for Hell in the Cell. It would be kind of cool. But again, I still don't get the unicorn thing. I think this match can be very good, because the Dudley Boys, you got to give Bubba Ray and Devon credit. These guys are in arguably the best shape of their careers almost. I expect some table spots in this match. There better be a table spot. But that's the one thing, though, that I kind of hate. Like, I kind of typecasting Dudley's that they have to use a table because they don't need to. But I really think that they're going to have a good match. And I hope the Dudleys win, because I would love to see them as champions again. That might entice the Hardys to come back. And then before you know, we can get a series going on, kind of like how the Wolves, the Hardys, and the Dudleys did in TNA, which would be really good for the tag team division in WWE, because in my opinion, the tag team division is kind of lacking. So bringing back the Dudleys was huge. If you can get the Hardys back, awesome. I'm very disappointed that Tyson Kidd had to go down with that injury. I wish him a speedy recovery and all the best in his recovery, because I miss seeing him and Cesaro together. The Brass Ring Club, to me, was arguably one of the best tag teams going in the WWE at that time, for how it ended. Like, just with the injury and everything, it's just sad to see. And I wish Tyson Kidd a speedy recovery. I can't wait to see him back and everything. Like, that's how I feel on that. So now we're going to go to the Divas Championship match. We have Charlotte taking on Nikki Bella in a rematch for the Divas Championship. I'm not a fan of the phrase Divas for the championship, because it's the women's division. They deserve the respect that they deserve. They're not divas, because to me, like, a diva is like someone that gets pampered, they get things handed to them. But these women are wrestling. Charlotte, she's a good worker. Nikki Bella, things can be argued about her in-ring abilities. Everyone knows how I feel about the Bella twins. I'm not really a fan of them, but for right now, it's the rematch clause. Sure, would I love to see Paige or Sasha Banks or Becky come up, or even Natalya fight Charlotte for that title? Yes, I would, but you have to do the Bella rematch, because the championship clause, like every champion gets a rematch clause, so there's nothing wrong with that. Nikki Bella better not. She's not going to win. Charlotte's definitely going to keep her title, and then it's going to build into better matches with Charlotte, with Charlotte taking on Paige, Sasha Banks, anybody. because a lot of these women are great workers, or like they're good workers. They're not as crisp as like a Gail Kim, but nobody is. Gail Kim is freaking awesome. They're not as good ring workers as Victoria, but the Bellas aren't there. But some of the other women are, like Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, just so many people. So yeah, I think it can be an interesting match, but I don't see it being a steel. Like I don't see it as a revolution. A revolution is something that like you have to take a stand and do something about it. And right now with Charlotte as your champion, that's a good point. Like she can actually be a good women's champion. And after Sunday, she won't have to face Nikki Bella again for a while. So that's good. Now bringing up the world title match, Seth Rollins taking on the Demon Kane for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The thing that disappoints me about this match, it's not in the cell. Why isn't the world title match in the cell? It can mean so much more. Why can't we have 3 matches on the card that are in the cell? I don't get it. Like, I honestly don't understand the reasoning in this, because you have 2 non-title matches as cell matches. In my opinion, with the pay-per-view being called Hell in the Cell, it should actually be every match in the cell. You have a score to settle, you have a feud going on, you take it to the cell. Like, that should be the big blow off. Like for a lot of guys, like, like how in the back in the day, the cage match was the blow off. Like the cage, like, they'd have like a match here, guys get screwed over, they have a rematch, then the big blow off would be the cage. And that's what I really think that it should be Hell in the Cell, because this match, like, it's been building up for a long time. Ever since Seth Rollins became heavyweight champion, him and Kane have had issues. They've been having problems, and that's what makes it entertaining. Because if they put this in the cell, it'd be awesome. I think it'd be decent, and I think people would be very happy with it. I cannot wait till so many, like, just this pay-per-view. It's gonna be interesting. But like, to me, I think Seth and Demon Kane might put on a good match, because, like I said earlier, Demon Kane is pretty intense, and I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm very happy for that. And but the thing is, like, Seth Rollins, he's just such a good worker. It's going to be a good match because of Seth Rollins. Kane is not as young as he used to, but I still think it's going to be good. Just the only reason why I think that is because it's a world title match. Seth Rollins hasn't really had the run that I wanted, because I want him to win a match clean. I want him to friggin' win a match without someone getting involved, without some trickery or something. I kind of just, I just want to see him go and put on a good show. Because Rollins, he's so good. He is so good. And man, I really wish my mic didn't screw up the last time I recorded this, because I had so many good points and I can't even remember some of them now. And I apologize for that, guys. But I believe on a Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, every match should be in a cell, just like how Lethal Lockdown, every match used to be a steel cage match. So bringing up the cell, let's go to the cage matches. We got Bray Wyatt taking on Roman Reigns. This could be a very interesting match. Bray Wyatt, in my opinion, is arguably such an underrated worker for his quickness, his athleticism, his agility. For a man his size and the power that he has, he deserves a lot more credit than he's given, and he deserves a lot better booking than he's given. I think this match could be a slugfest, and I really hope that that it is, because Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt had a good match at Raw. At the end of Raw, it was physical. These guys, they actually look like they want to fight each other, and that's what's really missing in wrestling. Like, 2 guys that look like they want to beat the crap out of each other. So that's how I feel with this, and I think it's going to be pretty good. But the thing is, like with Roman Reigns, like, he's improving. He is definitely improving. He's getting better. And he will get there. He definitely will get there. He's not there yet, but he will. Like, guys like Bray Wyatt are the perfect. This is perfect for him, because a guy like Bray Wyatt, a second generation superstar. I mean, wrestler. I do not like using that word superstar, because they're wrestlers. He can learn so much from him. Like I know I know Reigns has wrestling in his blood and stuff like that. He's got family in the business and stuff like that. But to me, I really think Bray Wyatt is the guy to help Roman Reigns, because Reigns has everything the WWE wants in a main eventer. He needs to work on his mic skills, but who cares? A lot of people need to work on their mic skills. It's hard to be a good talker. Like even me, like doing a podcast, like sometimes I have trouble like getting the point across, or accidentally ramble or repeat the same thing I said earlier in the show. It's happened. Like I'll admit it. Like but for promo wise, like that's something that he can learn. His in ring ability is getting better. And I think with Bray Wyatt fighting him, it's going to be a decent match. It's just I don't like it that they've been fighting each other like on every pay-per-view for it seems like an eternity. So that's what I don't like. And I'm just not a fan of that. Like but it should be a good match. Now speaking of another good match, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Hell in the Cell. Thank you. If anyone remembers their previous Hell in the Cell back early in Brock Lesnar's career, when he was undisputed champion, or as WWE champion at the time, sorry. He literally put on an amazing match with The Undertaker. Those two went to hell and back. Undertaker was like Undertaker was a lot younger, but it was perfect because Taker put over Brock, and it was a good match because honestly, going into that match, I thought Undertaker was going to beat Brock Lesnar, and what happened? Brock won, and it improved his legacy as a champion at that time because you made it when you main event with The Undertaker. If you have a good match with The Undertaker, that made your career. Just look at the Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley and Undertaker. Mick Foley, as Mankind, a lot of people did not like him. They did not respect him. But after that Hell in a Cell match, you could not give that guy the credit he deserved. He became a household name. People started like that made Mankind who he is today. Which is crazy because Cactus Jack did a lot of crazy stuff. He was awesome in WCW, but that match really was one of the high points of his career. And like many people said, it takes 3 people to put on a good match. You need 2 good workers, and you need a good ref. And they had all 3 of those in that. And on Sunday, I believe we're going to see that again. I fear for The Undertaker because he's not as young as he used to. And after the last 2 matches with Brock, it really it took a toll on him because you could tell like he needed help out at WrestleMania. He needed help out after Survivor Series as well. But the thing is, in this type of match, I can see Brock. He's just going to be physical. It's going to be dominant. But Taker's going to put up a really good fight. I think this is going to be an entertaining match, and it's a great way to end the feud and a great way to do the blow off for it. Like I said, I believe that every match in the show should be a Hell in the Cell because it'd be awesome. Imagine seeing a tag match in the Cell. I'm just saying. I think it'll be pretty entertaining. And then, so that is the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm stopped being so negative about things because you know what? If the WWE pisses me off, I'll let everyone know the next day on the review show. But as of right now, I'm going into this match or this show, and I am excited. I am optimistic, and I think it's going to be entertaining. Like speaking about more things that's entertaining, like lately Crossfire Wrestling has been very entertaining. I am very happy with Crossfire. I got to tip my cap to everybody that works for that company, from the bookers to the guys that get the talent, to the guys that set up the ring, to the guys that ref, and to the workers. You cannot forget the workers. But these guys have been putting on great shows. Coming up in December 5th, it's our big show of the year, Jingle Bell Brawl 4. Our main event is our heavyweight champion, Jeremy Elliott, taking on the monster, Congo Kong. And the thing is, too, Jeremy Elliott has been on fire as our world heavyweight champion. Like, commentating and stuff like that, I'm not his biggest fan. But you have to respect what this guy's done. He has been champion since Jingle Bell Brawl 3. He's taken on all comers, and he has taken them down. He has made Cody Deaner tap out. And to make Cody Deaner tap out, that is a feat. Like that is something. That's something that he should be very proud of because Cody Deaner, in my opinion, is probably one of the best workers in the business. In fact, huge shout out to Cody Deaner, who just became the BCW heavyweight champion. I am so happy for him because no one deserves it more than Cody Deaner. Cody Deaner is the man. I've seen him wrestle in Neo. I've seen him wrestle in Crossfire. Now him being the BCW champion, like he's been everywhere. Cody Deaner, he's been TNA. He's been in so many different companies. And finally, this guy's getting the recognition he deserves. And if you do not know what BCW is a company run by Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore was one of the main players in TNA wrestling when Team Canada came in. He was the guy that with P.D. Williams, Eric Young, Bobby Roode, just to name a couple. And Scott D'Amore knows the business. And for him to put his belt on Cody Deaner, that shows you that Cody Deaner is the man. In that match, Cody Deaner defeated Bobby Roode and Kongo Kong to become the heavyweight champion. He the former champion John Bolin went out with an injury, so the only way to make it to give the fans a world title match and something that they deserved, they put Cody Deaner against Kongo Kong versus Bobby Roode for the vacated title, and Cody Deaner came out champion. So I tip my cap to Cody Deaner. Awesome job, buddy. He deserves it. But back to Jeremy Elliott. He's taken on everybody that we've thrown at him, and he's walked out still champion. He defeated Tomer Shalom to become the champion. He defended against Deaner, like I said, Jackson Jarvis, in a great chairs match with Custom Marcus Ryan. Honestly, if you have not seen these matches, check out the Crossfire YouTube channel because these matches, they are epic. Jeremy Elliott, he's a hardworking champion. He fights and he's got honor. Not only does he fight this guy's got a great martial arts background. This guy is inducted into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame. That's right. So that's something you can look up. If you don't believe me, look it up because Jeremy Elliott, he is serious and he's an intense competitor and it's going to be a good match, but he is fighting his biggest challenge coming up in December. He's got to take on the monster Kongo Kong. Kongo Kong is almost 7 foot. He's like 6 foot. I forget exactly his height, but he's like 400 pounds. And this guy made me look like as if I'm a child. And I'm 30. I'm in my 30s. I'm a full grown adult. And he made me look like I'm a small child. When he choked me in my picture with him, I knew how Bob Uecker felt when Andre the Giant started strangling him at WrestleMania. And so like it's going to be a very good match. It's tough. It's going to be tough for Elliott because Kongo Kong is the biggest guy, is the toughest challenge he ever faced. And not only is Kongo Kong the toughest challenge he ever faced, but Jeremy Elliott's arch nemesis, Jay Moore, is in Kongo Kong's corner. And who knows Jeremy Elliott better than Jay Moore? I'd say Elliott's wife. That's the only person that would probably know Elliott better than Jay Moore because these two have been at each other's throats for about 12 to 13 years, I think. And it all started in Neo Wrestling Federation. And it came over to Crossfire. Jeremy Elliott was in the crowd, got into Jay Moore's face. Jay Moore pushed Jeremy Elliott's kid. Jeremy Elliott hopped the rail, attacked Jay Moore, which you can't do. You shouldn't be putting your hands on fans, and fans should not be hopping the railings. I'm sorry, where was the security on that one? But so Jeremy Elliott attacked Jay Moore. The only way he can get his hands on Jay Moore was he had to become a wrestler Crossfire. So the talent agent saw money in this, and he's like, we got to sign this guy. And which I don't blame him because Jeremy Elliott's money. That guy has been a hard fighting champion, and I give him credit, even though I don't like him because he ended Jay Moore's career at Jingle Bell Brawl 3. But my friend's got his job back, so I can't be bitter anymore. Actually, Jeremy Elliott got his job back for him because this is what happened. I'm going to go through this whole history. Sorry, guys. I know I'm trailing off, but at one of our shows, I think it was Mayhem. Yes, Jay Moore was in the crowd. He had a mask on. Nobody knew that was Jay Moore. Of course I did because I'm friends with him. And come on, guys. No, so Jay Moore literally was in the crowd. He was watching his boys. Go Time Chris LaPlante took a kendo stick from the Rochester Wrecking Crew, the current tag team champions who are on fire, and I'm going to be talking about them soon. But LaPlante took their kendo stick and gave it to the fans, and he even duped Jay Moore, which made it. I mean, he even duped Chris LaPlante, which makes it even better because Jay Moore and LaPlante don't get along. They do not like each other. But you know, everyone was going nuts for that kendo stick. LaPlante saw the one guy that didn't really care, so he handed him. He handed him that cane. And what did Jay do at the end of the show? Elliott's out tagging the fans, cracks him right in the skull with the kendo stick. I'm telling you, check out the footage on the Crossfire YouTube channel. It is awesome. And Jay Moore attacked him. challenged him to put together a team because Jay Moore didn't have a job at Crossfire at the time, and told him like, "Hey, we'll take you on Fort Erie, May 31st." We took him on. Infamous Five versus Crossfire Wrestling, first time ever that the Infamous Five fought as a whole in the match. Normally they only fight in singles competition, but this is the first time that they all teamed up as a unit and they took it to Crossfire. Except unfortunately, Jeremy Elliott he prevailed and defeated Cody Deaner, and they were the last two guys left in the match because it was Survivor Series rules. And he just he stole one from Jay Moore right in our hometown, which really bugged us. So Jeremy Elliott comes back at Fired Up. No, Bring the Heat 4. That is the match that after his match with Custom Marcus Ryan, like he literally called me out during the match before the show even starts. Like, Classic Chris, you get on your phone, you get Jay Moore here. And I'm like, I ain't getting him for you. This guy's a grown man. I ain't doing nothing like that for you. Because why? If Jay Moore was going to be there, he was going to be there. So Elliott called me out. He called the Infamous Five out. And so long story short, he's fighting Custom in that main event at the end of the match. Before he even gets his hand raised, he wants a microphone. And he's saying, "Where's Jay Moore?" He wanted Jay. And surprisingly, Jay Moore showed up. I guess one of the boys may have texted him, or because I didn't text him because Jay does whatever Jay wants. But Jay showed up with Rob Rage, and Jeremy Elliott challenged him to a steel cage match. And that match took place at our previous show. It was Bring the Heat 4. No, it was Fired Up. Sorry, it was at Fired Up. And the match is not up yet, but Jay Moore steps inside a steel cage, and he takes on Jeremy Elliott. And the only way for this to happen, Jeremy Elliott just wanted to get his hands on Jay. He's just still livid with Jay. Those two will never, ever coexist. They'll never, ever get along. But when he challenged him to the match, he even was willing to take back taking Jay Moore's career. He's like, "I'll sign the documents to give you your job back." So thank you, Jeremy Elliott, for bringing Jay Moore back to Crossfire Wrestling. And because of you doing that, spoiler alert, who's the only man to beat Jeremy Elliott since he became World Heavyweight Champion? The answer is Infamous Jay Moore. Because Jay Moore walked out of that steel cage, your winner. Jay Moore is not a wrestler. He is a manager, but he's the manager of champions. This guy is so intelligent. He has to be one of the smartest men I've ever met. And for what happened at Bring the Heat, no, Fired Up. Sorry, I keep screwing up those names. But after Fired Up, he showed you why Jay Moore is the infamous one, why he is the manager of champions, and why, in my opinion, he could be number one contender if he wanted to. But that honor is going to the man Congo Kong, who's going to be managed by Jay. So that's what's coming up in December. But that's not only one of the big matches we have. The other main event, we have two main events on that show. We also have Cody Deaner, managed by infamous Jay Moore, taking on TNA's Eric Young. Now, these guys have a history together. These guys came up through the business. They fought each other many of times. And you know how it is with a bit of rival. Nothing is ever settled, especially when you put two elements like that together, it's going to explode. And I cannot wait for December 5th because we got Eric Young taking on Cody Deaner, former TNA heavyweight champion, against former TNA knockouts champion. It's going to be awesome because Cody Deaner is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. He is Chris, but so is EY. That's why it's going to be such an exciting show. I cannot wait for this show in December. Cody Deaner taking on Eric Young. And I'm sorry, if you don't know who Cody Deaner is, get your head out of the friggin' sand. Look him up. You're going to be entertained because Deaner is awesome. And here's a fun fact, too. Both men have had matches with Kurt Angle. I'm excited to see that. We have also on that show, we're having our women's title being defended. Caitlin Diamond's taking on Jules Malone. Last time they fought was at Battle at Bissell's. That was our August show that we have just like a highlight clip was up of because it was like a host show basically. So we don't really we don't really air that stuff. There's no commentator or anything. So these two put on a really good match. It was very entertaining. It was good for women's wrestling in my opinion because these two held nothing back. It was all on the table. They threw it on their cards. End of the match. Caitlin Diamond is still your women's champion. But after that match, the fans were chanting rematch, rematch, and Crossfire would be stupid not to book this rematch. They would have been, and it was a smart move by them to set it up for our big show. If you're in the St. Catharines area, December 5th, I am telling you, you have to check this out. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be happy because it was a good women's match, and this card is just awesome. Other matches that we have Jackson Jarvis taking on Go Time Chris LaPlante. They have a huge rivalry going on right now. It all started back when Jake Roberts invaded Crossfire when we were at Dunville. Chris LaPlante has a match with Jarvis. Jarvis's manager at the time screws up, throws the sand in Jarvis's face. LaPlante gets the roll up. LaPlante wins. Well, that doesn't sit too well with the professional. So these two have been going back and forth, interjecting themselves in each other's matches, which, like I said before, WWE should learn. And now we're getting finally Jarvis versus Go Time, and this is going to be a good match. Like, Jarvis has been a constant professional. He came out, attacked LaPlante after LaPlante's match. What does LaPlante do? Comes out during Jarvis's match, distracts him, and Jarvis loses a match. Cost that man a victory. Why couldn't you be a man? Why couldn't you come out after the match and fight him, Chris LaPlante? I do not understand that. I do not. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have your work cut out for you when you're fighting the professional. It's going to be a good match. Another good match, it's going to be Tomer Shalom taking on Justin Sane. Now, Tomer Shalom is our former world champion. He's the guy that Jeremy Elliott defeated to not only become world heavyweight champion, but also to take Jay Moore's career, which friggin' sucks. And that has not ever sat right with Tomer Shalom. Tomer Shalom has been more edgier. He's put more moves in his repertoire. He has been changing himself. He's becoming like the elite wrestler that I believe that he is. Because Tomer Shalom, hands down, one of the best workers we have. He is so crisp. And but the thing is, he's taking on Justin Sane, the Night Train. This guy, if you look up intensity, that's what Justin Sane is. He's high impact moves. He is a high flyer, but he also has power. This man is so strong that Jackson Jarvis is no small man, but he held him up in a vertical suplex and did squats while having this man up in a vertical suplex. And if that's not strength, I do not know what is. And his distance and his leaps. I thought only Rob Van Dam could jump that far. But when he set up Jarvis for his splash, oh, cripes. He went so far across that ring to land on him. It was awesome. I give a lot of credit to Justin Sane, but you're taking on Tomer Shalom, so it's going to be a tough match. It's going to be very entertaining. And speaking of entertaining, you know who else is entertaining? The Crossfire Tag Team Division. We got the Rochester Wrecking Crew. Hellcat and Rob Sweet. These two guys are out of Rochester. If you do not know who they are, look them up. Hellcat, pure vet. That guy is a constant pro, from his mannerisms outside of the ring to his crisp in-ring work. He is hands down one of my favorite wrestlers that I've seen. And the best thing is too, like, he's the vet. He's the guy that basically tells Sweet what's going on. And Rob Sweet, don't cut him short either. He's a good young up-and-comer. This guy, he's got great in-ring ability, and plus he's under the tutelage of Hellcat. How can you not want that? They are the current Crossfire Tag Team Champions, and they have been on a roll ever since they came into Crossfire, and as they should be, because they're one of the only units that I've actually seen in that company. Like them and the Italianos. Those it's going to be, if they're squaring off at Jingle Bell Brawl, because the card's not even yet fully decided yet. If those two are squaring off, if those two teams are going to collide at Jingle Bell, it's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. So remember, everybody, December 5th, St. Catharines, Ontario. If you're in that area, you buy a ticket. You go see Jingle Bell Brawl 4. And the crazy thing, too, tickets are moving fast because we've already sold out of all of our VIP tickets. VIP tickets allow you to come into the show early. You're guaranteed front row. And when you come to the show early, you get there's meet and greets. Like you can get you can buy merch at the tables. You can get autographs. A lot of things. So don't delay. Get your tickets today. And that's me talking about wrestling. So I'm going to move things on because I love this time of year. I do. Do you know why I love this time of year too? Not only do we have the Toronto Blue Jays still in the playoffs, which is awesome. We have we have the NFL, we have NHL, and NBA's around the corner. This is such a great time of the year for sports because right now, the Toronto Blue Jays have just been on fire. Like not right now they've been on fire, but they have put together a really interesting season. I'm very proud of the Toronto Blue Jays for what they've done. They became the AL East champions, which is a very tough division. Not only do you have to deal with the New York Yankees, but you also have to deal with the Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. Those are very tough teams. Tampa Bay is pretty good too. Like, it is a very tough division. So for the fact that the Blue Jays not only won the division, but yet they're still out there, it's a success this season. I am very proud of the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm proud to be from Toronto and a fan. The first sporting event I ever went to was when I was a kid still living in Toronto. My mom took me to go see the Toronto Blue Jays with my brother and my sister, my two brothers and my sister, and we got to see the Blue Jays at Exhibition Stadium. I thank my mom for that. My mom did a lot for me growing up. She is awesome. And yeah, I'm gonna admit it. She's fucking awesome. Good for, oh crap, and there I swore. There goes me trying to hold it back, eh? So again, like going into the Toronto Blue Jays, they put on together a great season. The comeback from 2-0 against Texas to now taking it to Game 6 against Kansas City. During the last game, there's a lot of Kansas City fans complaining about the strike zone, complaining that Bautista shouldn't have got walked. It was a strike. Well, here's something I'm going to bring up. Game 2 against the Texas Rangers. A guy's foot on the bag, takes his foot off, he's tagged, pushes his foot back on, he's considered safe. But I'm sorry, you will not see the motion of a go back and forth if you're still on the bag. Your foot just stays still. I'm sorry. But that blown call turned into the game-winning run. And it really sucks. Then in the bottom of that inning, Troy Tulowitzki's up to bat. There's 2 strikes on him. Pitch well out of the zone. It even showed on the pitch tracker, like the pitch location, that the ball is clearly out of the zone. The ump calls him out for strike 3. And meanwhile, Tulowitzki's not the most vocal guy ever. Like, he doesn't complain about calls because he doesn't. That's just his character. But for him to turn that ump and basically like just chew him out was shocking, but he had every right to do it because that strike zone was not a strike. It was a friggin' ball. And what pisses me off about it all is that Major League Baseball now doesn't show the pitch tracker anymore. It doesn't show the pitch locations because people like me tweeted out the picture of Tulowitzki's ball called a strike. And Major League Baseball does not like being told that they're trying to screw somebody over. And that ump was. I'm sorry, he was. So those people trying to say that Toronto got a call in their favor, what, for once? But the gods of baseball smiled upon them. Hence, here we are today. Game 6. It's going to be awesome tonight. Game 6 in Kansas City. I'm so happy for the Blue Jays for making it this far. Guys like Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion, they deserve this. Do you want to know why? Because they've been with Toronto through thick and thin. They've been there for so long. Bautista's won home run titles. They've won Silver Slugger awards. But yet this team could not make the playoffs. So this is like the first time since 1993 that the Jays not only made the playoffs, but they've been in it this deep, which is very important because it's good for baseball in Canada. Because you know what that means? The kid watching the game with his dad, he starts liking baseball a little bit more. And instead of focusing mostly on hockey, they'll play a little bit more baseball. Like guys like Larry Walker. That's all I could say. Morneau, Brett Laurie, just to name a couple of good Canadian baseball players. Russell Martin, how can I even forget him? But I'm just saying, like, it builds up for people to get to the sport, like to be entertained in sport. Like, look at basketball right now. With the Raptors doing better, you're seeing a lot more Canadians coming out and looking like NBA players than you ever had before in the history of the NBA. Like, you're getting some really good Canadian basketball players coming up, which is just shocking in my opinion, because I hate to say it, but like I got to give credit where it's due. The U.S. is the pinnacle for basketball. Just look at how that NCAA does everything. But that's what I'm meaning. Like that when your only team from your country does good, it helps morale. Kids will start playing baseball, and it's good for baseball in Canada. Tonight is just huge. This like a lot of people are saying, well, David Price, it's do or die. Well, we have David Price going to the mound, and there's no one else I'd rather have going on the mound tonight than David Price, because win or lose, they're going to give it their all, and I want it decided on the field between the teams. If the Blue Jays lose 6-5, I don't care, as long as it was done by the players. But if an ump does a call where he basically decides the game. I don't like that. I do not like that one bit. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. A lot of people are still mad about wide right. I'm not. The New York Giants deserve that Super Bowl because it was decided on the field. Imagine if Norwood kicked that field goal wide, and then the ref said, "You know what? This guy moved on the line, or this guy was in the neutral zone, so you get to re-kick it." The New York Giants fans would have been so pissed off because arguably, because it wasn't decided by the players. Unless you have like indisputable evidence to say that, hey, this call should have been, then don't screw it up. Like, it was decided on the field between the players. That's what I like. So we got David Price going to the Hill tonight, which could be his final start as a Toronto Blue Jay. I hope it's not. I hope they make it to I hope they go to Game 7 and then also to the World Series. But if they lose tonight, the Toronto Blue Jays season's over. Hold your heads up high. They're going to try to sign David Price back in the offseason, which they should, because David Price is just a gem as a pitcher. He is awesome. And he deserves it. Like, he deserves to be the guy in this situation, because he's the guy we traded for at the trade deadline. When the Blue Jays gave up like Norris and all the other prospects just to get this guy, they're like, this is our guy to help us get to the level that we need to be. Jose Bautista was ecstatic when they traded for David Price. When they got Price, he texts Antopoulos to make sure, it's like, is this true? He gets a yes. It's true. And then what does Bautista do? Send him a text back. Yes, with 1 million exclamation points behind it. It's almost as if Daniel Bryan came in and everyone's like, yes, yes, yes. But that's the thing, though, with Price. He's that good of a pitcher. And if anyone could do it for the Blue Jays, it's him. And if they lose tonight, oh well, sign him back in the offseason, because I do not want to see him going to the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees or even Tampa. I don't want to see him going anywhere in the AL East. That's the main thing, because Price is such a good pitcher. He looks like he's having fun in Toronto. When Pennington hit his big home run against the Yankees, in the dugout when he's coming back, Pennington, who's the one guy, Price pulls up his sleeve and flexes to him. It's awesome. Like, you could see the camaraderie between the players and everything. He is a great chip to have on your team, because the Blue Jays haven't really had an ace since Roy Halladay, and having him in, it's awesome. Well, Stroman's going to be the next ace, because that guy is just ridiculous. And same with Estrada. That guy could pitch. It's a shame that his contract's coming up in the season, though, to Estrada. But I believe in David Price, and it should be a good game tonight. Go Blue Jays. If Kansas City wins, oh well. Oh well. Just let it be decided by the players. So now, more sports. I'm going to be talking the Toronto Maple Leafs. It has been tough for the Leafs this season so far. It's been so tough. But the one thing I've noticed, though, the Toronto Maple Leafs are getting better. It's crazy, because right now they have a crappy record, but they're playing the best team hockey that they've played in a long ass time. Mike Babcock has them working a system. They're getting crisp breakouts. Their D is looking a lot better. They've only been outshot once this season, and that was last game against Buffalo, where they lost in a shootout. And Mike Babcock has them working the system that he wants, which is awesome, because no other coach that coached Leafs can get these players to play together. Ron Wilson had that problem. Randy Carlyle had that problem. Holmgren had that problem. These guys have learned 3 different systems to finally, now you have a coach that's set up, who's got an established plan. He's coached Team Canada back-to-back gold medals at the Olympics. If Babcock has something to say, you friggin' listen. He's making guys even like Dion Phaneuf look better this year, because one of the main things with Dion Phaneuf, he was getting fatigued. When your team's taking so many penalties, you have Dion Phaneuf out there killing penalties, going out there for his regular shifts. He's getting fatigued. He's playing like 20, 25 minutes a game, and he blossoms better at playing 15 and under, because he's more energetic. He's got more stamina in him. And I'm sorry, in the NHL, with how hard these guys go back and forth and everything, 20 seconds is all you really can do for a shift. Like, when you see guys skating to the bench, huffing and puffing, they give it their all. That's what they do. And I've been seeing that from the Leafs. They don't have any pure goal scorers, really. But if you keep playing like a team, the dominoes will fall into place. You'll get the chips all together, and it's going to be awesome. like Babcock said in his first press conference, there's going to be pain. There's going to be pain, and it happens. And right now, thank you for the Toronto Blue Jays for for the thing is too, like with Babcock, he told us like it's gonna take time. There's gonna be pain. It's gonna be tough. But with the Blue Jays right now, they took a lot of pressure off the Leafs, which is good because right now the Toronto Maple Leafs, it is very tough for them to score goals. They don't have Phil Kessel anymore. They kind of got hosed in the deal. But here's the thing: Phil Kessel doesn't have many goals either. Him and Sidney Crosby don't look that good together, which I am shocked because I honestly thought Phil Kessel would be like a 40 goal scorer this year, which there's still tons of times. There's still tons of hockey left. But it takes time for people to get in a groove. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I guarantee you by halfway point through the season, Kessel and Crosby, like as soon as it's 20 games in, Kessel and Crosby are going to be clicking. It's just shocking to see that it's taken him this long because Sid the Kid is just he's got great hands. Kessel's got the determination. He's just a guy that loves hockey, and that's the thing. It's good for the sport, but for the Leafs, things are going to be tough. They should have won a couple of games this year that they lost because goaltending wasn't that great. When you go down 3-0, that's not good. But if your team fights back and you end up tied to 5-5, winning overtime, awesome. But the fact is that you got sometimes you got to be accountable for your play on the ice, and I'm glad that people are taking they're accountable for their mistakes. And Babcock is teaching them, and he's getting a system. He's getting his lines together, and things are going to improve. I can see it happening. Things will improve. It will not happen overnight, but it's a start. It is definitely a start, and I'm hopeful for the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I am very hopeful, but it like Bab said, there's going to be pain. There is going to be pain, and I am sorry, but I'm there for the long haul. I've watched this team for so long. I don't care. Like I've seen a Maple Leaf Gardens. I've never been to a game at the ACC because tickets are just way too expensive. But the only time I was in the ACC was for SummerSlam, and I enjoyed myself. Randy Orton won his first world title. Triple H took on Eugene. I had a fun night. Undertaker versus JBL. That was all interesting. We chokeslammed him through the table or through the limo. That was awesome. But it was good. Now I'm going to be talking NFL. I'm sorry, San Francisco 49er fans. Last night, okay, here's the story. Last night, or it starts Wednesday. I worked Wednesday night at my job until like 2:30 in the morning. I come home. I get to bed like around 3. I have to be up at 7:30 to double back in. I'm doing a clopen, as some of the people refer to as. It's a closed and an open. And for my job though, I have to be sharp. My mind has to be there because I'm doing currency exchange and stuff like that. So I have to be sharp, and I was like a zombie yesterday. So I get home, I take a nap because I friggin' needed it. My body was I was just exhausted. So I wake up just in time for the football game last night because I'm watching that damn game because I have 2 players playing that game. I got Bolden and I got the kicker for the Seahawks. I can never pronounce his name properly, so I'm not going to try it. And that kicker has been a gem for me all season. Always puts over what points they say he's going to get. He's been thank for him. It's like my fantasy season has been crap so far. I had with the draft. I was ranked A-. I was the highest grade for anyone in that draft. No auto draft. I did it all myself. And I literally started off 0-4. It seemed like every game I'd have one player on my team put up the worst game of his entire career. It was ridiculous. I even drafted Andre Johnson. He's done nothing. I thought him, because I have Andrew Luck, I figured him and Johnson will click. It'll get me some touchdowns. It'll help me out because whenever he throws to him, I'm getting double points. It did not work out like that. I dropped him for Benjamin for Cleveland, and that guy has been stellar for me. That's all I could say. So I started off 0-4. My first win of the season, or my win last week that happened, I got so lucky. That game, New England versus Indy. Luck did not have to drive down the field and score that touchdown. Colts were already out of the game. But since he threw that touchdown pass, gave me enough points to win the friggin' game. So thank you, Andrew Luck. Thank you. Because that game, I was going into that contest losing by 23 points. And I'm winning by 8 points in that game because I had Andrew Luck, I had Blount, and I had Frank Gore. It was awesome. So I got lucky in that game to make me 2-4. Like, I'm still into it. Like, I'm still in it. Like, I have a tough game this week because I'm facing the top guy in my division. And he's beat me right now, like, by 13 points. And I blame the San Francisco 49ers for that because how could you just only get 3 points? Come on, guys. You have weapons. Use them. Like Kaepernick, you kept getting sacked, and that's the thing that screwed me over because, and the 3 and outs, because the team that I'm facing had Seattle's defense. They held you to 3 points. Thank you for kicking that field goal, though, because I would have been down by 30 points. So thank you for hitting that field goal. But I'm sorry. Like it was terrible. Like, so many times Kaepernick just got sacked. It's like, come on, buddy, just throw it out of bounds. Take the intentional grounding or something, please. Like, quit giving the other guy points. Like, it was a tough game, and I know San Francisco's pain because I'm a Bills fan. This year, there's been some tough losses. I have their D. Last week, they gave me -2 points. -2 points. And they're not that bad of a D. And it was just shocking. It's like, how the heck could Buffalo just keep shooting themselves in the foot? Every time you put a team in a punt situation, you do a stupid penalty and they get a first down. That's what lost the game against the Giants. Like, it made you look like losers against the Bengals last weekend. But it's crazy. Like, and it really bugs me that their game is at 9:30 in the morning on Sunday. I'm gonna have to DVR that shit because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At 9:30 in the morning, I'm still sleeping off my Saturday night because I DJ, I go out, I have fun. That's all you got to do in life. Just have fun, enjoy yourself. But like, Kaepernick is just so much better than that. Like, just throw it out of bounds or something. At least don't get the 3 and outs. Like, those 3 and outs were killing me. Those sacks were just killing me. It's like, ugh. Like, so I get all rested and I watch that game. Like, are you kidding me? It was so awesome. A couple of buddies came over from after work. We're drinking and stuff like that. Watched some South Park. Put a big smile on my face because I'm not even a 49ers fan. And I felt their pain. I could feel it. I was like, fucking Niners. And I apologize for swearing again, but I'm trying to keep that on the low. So that's only 2 F-bombs. So that's pretty damn good for me because normally I say it like 6 or 7 times per minute. So, but yeah, it was just tough to watch. And then now I got to DVR a game on Sunday because it's playing in London. It's like, haven't the Bills had enough hardships this season? Percy Harvin could be out for it might be retiring because of his hip injury, which sucks because he was one of their like when people are injured, you kind of need to lean on these guys, and he was one of the guys who were leaning on. Then he got injured. Like, when Sammy Watkins isn't playing, you need Percy Harvin, and now we don't have Watkins or Percy Harvin going into this game. It's going to be tough for the Buffalo Bills. Not even Tyrod Taylor's playing. EJ Manuel's starting again, so hopefully the Bills can turn it around. They're playing against Jacksonville Jaguars. Should be an interesting game. It should be fun. I'm hoping that the Bills defense keep me in the positive this time instead of in the negative because it is just ridiculous. But that's a little sports talk there. You know what? On the next show, I'm going to get somebody with me just to talk stuff because with me rambling on like this, I really feel that I need a second person for my videos, like especially for the podcast, so we can roll off each other. Like, I can actually have a conversation. It's a little bit more interesting than just me talking. So that's definitely what I'm looking for. Probably I might get Adam on the next show, or even my buddy Shane on the next show, just like because I'll set it up like for like a later time on Fridays, just to make it easier because I know both these guys have busy schedules. So I'm gonna try to get somebody in to help me out with the show, just because. Like, the Howard Stern show, it's so relaxing to listen to because not only do you have Howard, you got Robin, you got Fred, you got Gary, you got all these people that talk and they input their opinions. And a lot of it's friggin' hilarious, and I love it. I love the Howard Stern show. So shout out to Howard Stern. Hey now. So if you ever hear me say hey now, it's a tribute in honor of Howard Stern because that guy, to me, he is everything that I would love to be on like radio style because he's very successful. Anything that Howard Stern has done is turned to gold. Look at his wife, man. Guy's awesome. He even banged Angie Everhart. Good for him. I'm so jealous of that. Like, I will admit this. I do have a thing for redheads, and seeing her in Bordello Blood and every other acting thing I've seen, that girl, she is phenomenal. So good for you, Howard Stern. I applaud you. You are the man. But I do miss Artie Lang. Artie Lang was awesome, and that's why when I listen to Howard 101 when we get the throwback videos with or shows with Artie, they're just awesome. They are awesome, and a lot of the things like that that are interesting with radio, Howard Stern has done it all. Like a lot of the bits and everything, he's done it. He's so good. And speaking of like shows and stuff like that, I have a little bone to pick with AMC. Uh, their mid-season finale stuff bugs the hell out of me. During Breaking Bad's final season, we had to wait 5 friggin' months for the second half of a show that you already finished filming it. It's not like you filmed 5 episodes or 6 episodes or so, took time off to film other episodes. No, you already had the season done. You just like to, I don't know. It's ridiculous because I'm going through that right now with Hell on Wheels. I watched the first 7 episodes. It's getting pretty damn good. New episodes of AMC's Hell on Wheels will be seen 2016. What? 2016? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You already have it filmed. What? Why? And if it airs in August or like in the summer like it normally does, are you kidding me? Like, I blame you guys for not having enough content on your channel that you're forcing this to happen. Because why is The Walking Dead taking mid-season finales? It takes me right out of that damn show. Walking Dead pisses me off so much because every time there's a big build-up, for example, spoiler alert, season 2, they're looking for Sophia. Where they find her? In a friggin' barn. They spend half of the season looking for this chick. She's right there the whole friggin' time. She's already dead. Are you kidding me? Beth gets kidnapped in a zombie outbreak. I didn't expect them to ever find her. I expected like something crazy to happen because she is kidnapped. But they end up finding her. They're about to rescue her. Instead of her being like, "Hey Rick, these people are bad. We gotta take her down." No, she tries to slit the girl. Like she tries to take her down herself and ends up getting shot in the head. A whole season tracking down this girl for this? Are you kidding me? Are you honestly? Do you guys think when you put stuff together, like you do this big build up, you get invested in these characters? Like I don't care that they die, but at least make it meaningful. Don't make us go searching for them. Then as soon as we find them, they die. To me, it's terrible. The only show, in my opinion, that deserves the mid-season break is South Park, because those guys are phenomenal. They put so much stuff together. It's fresh, it's new, it's always up to date with current events. And with South Park, they do their shows weekly. Like they make it weekly. So when they take time off, I applaud that because they need time to A, recharge their energy or their batteries, and B, South Park is just awesome. So they need that time because they'll bring out new shows, and and especially during their time off, if something dumb happens, they'll make fun of it, like they have been this season, which I just love. Like to me, South Park is like probably one of the funniest shows going today. That's the only show, in my opinion, that deserves the mid-season break. It's really bugs me when AMC does this. It really does. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, that's right. I said butt, not ass. Well, no, I said ass. But it's just odd. Like that shows that are already filmed, like you already have the entire season completed, but you're going to take time off for what? Are you that desperate for viewers and sponsors that you're going to like? I understand, like sometimes for The Walking Dead when they take that break because when they're getting in the meat of their season, it's NFL playoffs. And I'm sorry, on Sunday, I'm watching NFL. I'll DVR Walking Dead. That's just how it is. And speaking of that, like tonight, the Blue Jays taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Game 6. I cannot wait. Go David Price, get your first win as a starter because he did get credited for that win when R.A. Dickey pitched and he came out of the bullpen, which a lot of people bitched about John Gibbons' mindset for putting him in his out of the bullpen. Okay, here's the thing. Aaron Loop was out for personal reasons. And if for what the reasons are, I understand 100%. Be there for your family. Your family will always be there for you. He had to do it, and I'm not going to get into the situation why he wasn't available. If you want to look it up, go ahead. But I agree with him. He needed to take time off. Go ahead. Cecil gets injured. He was lights out after that horrible start he had. He had some hiccups at the beginning of the season, but he settled down, got his arm and grew like he got to where he should be, and that's what they were looking for when they made him the closer. But he wasn't able to close games, and so David Price is your only left-handed guy that they have right now. Everyone else is a righty, and during that game, Dickey was pitching pretty damn good. He was pitching a gem, but the guys coming up for Texas were guys that in the past have also hit Dickey pretty hard, and now he was going through the order for the second time, or for the third time, sorry, and they needed a lefty in there because these people are catching on to the knuckleball. They started to catch on, and Price pitched well enough to get the win and keep the Blue Jays in the playoffs. And as history tells you, the Blue Jays won 3 straight to win that series, and that's why That's why David Price had to come out of the bullpen. And a lot of people question that out of Gibbons, but I am not, because you needed that lefty because they're a right-handed heavy line, or no, they're a left-handed heavy lineup. And those batters that he faced, took down 1, 2, 3, were all guys that are good hitters. So I applaud that. So when people brought up David Price going into the bullpen the other night, yeah, they needed a lefty, and David Price will not go and throw in the bullpen unless he tells you he's able to do it. I believe that it's going to be a good game tonight because that's what I'm watching tonight, and I'm going to be closing things up pretty soon. That's why I'm bringing up the Blue Jays again, because tonight, 8:05 Eastern Time, I'll be watching the Toronto Blue Jays take on the Kansas City Royals. Do or die tonight, Blue Jays. Let's go. I'm there 100%. Win or lose, I'm still happy with the season. I prefer a win, take it to Game 7, because I believe that Stroman will outpitch Cueto. I very believe that. I am strongly behind Stroman, and I'm also behind David Price. I think these are the two guys that get it done. With that being said, tonight, don't forget the AL Championship, Toronto Blue Jays against the Kansas City Chiefs, Royals. Sorry, Chiefs for football. It's going to be good. I'm excited. Go Toronto. Hopefully you can take it to Game 7. If not, I'm still happy with everything. That being said, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. You have a good one. It's going to be a good weekend. Go out, have a couple of drinks, watch the game, do whatever, have a great time. That's all we can do, right? That's all we can actually do. Is just enjoy it. Go Blue Jays. And with that, I am out of here. You have just been listening to The Classic Chris Show.